Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. And do I have a lot of little tips for you? So let's get started. I don't know if you've noticed lately, but there's kind of a shortage on things. And specifically I'm talking about pillow forms, which I like to use in my pillows. And pillow forms come in a variety of sizes. The one I use the most is this 16-inch square pillow form. There's also an 18-inch, and then you can even get them 20-inch, which are usually used on your living room sofas. This one's a little too big for me. I prefer the 16 or 18-inch. And sometimes you can even find them in a rectangular shape. This is like, I think, 12 by 16. But if you can't find the right size pillow form, I'm going to show you how you can make your own. You can make your pillow size any size you want, but add at least another ½ inch to the size. So in other words, if you want a 12-inch, 16-inch, 18, 20, 30, whatever it is you're making, add an additional ½ inch for seam allowance. So here's just a sample. So you cut out 2 pieces of fabric, and I suggest for a pillow form you either use a cream color or white color. You bring the 2 squares together and then stitch a ½ inch seam all the way around, except on one side you're going to leave an opening large enough for your hand to go through. And then I would go and trim just a little bit of fabric off at the corner. You don't have to worry about your corners on your pillow form being really pointed. And then you would go in, open it up, and turn it front side out. Okay, so you'd bring it all the way out. Then once you got it turned front side out, let me get this going here a little bit more. You're going to make sure you go in and poke out all of your corners. So poke them out as far as they'll go. So you do all 4 corners. Then you're going to take some polyfill stuffing like this. And I'm going to be talking more about this in a moment because I have another tip of the week that has to do with this. So you can put polyfill stuffing in it. When you put polyfill stuffing in a pillow or in anything you're making, you want to break it up into smaller pieces. And then you would insert it in through the hole. And then you would just do a little whip stitch. So you would fold the edges inside. You can have some clips hold that open and close. And then just do a little whip stitch along the edges. Whip means you just go along like this to close it up. And there you have your own pillow form. On the smaller bags of the polyfill stuffing, there's a little surprise on the back, and that is a pattern to make something. This one actually has a doll on it. Let me show you another one. This one, I've already used it. I haven't done the pattern yet, but this one has a teddy bear. Okay, and the instructions are all printed on there so you know exactly what to do, and they're all pretty standard as to how these things are put together. Let me show you one that I did make. Okay, a little elephant, and I'm going to have a link to that, to this elephant. I don't know if you can still get this particular pattern, but it gives you an idea how just easy they are to construct. I've had many comments about this doll pattern. A lot of you couldn't find it. And it's because, again, of the numbering system that they have. So I'm going to turn it so you can read the number here, up here. This is all that is printed on the envelope. But when you go to look for it, sometimes you can find it by this number and sometimes you can't. So here is the full number. It's listed right here. Okay, so now you can, maybe if you can't find it at Joann's, you can also find it on Etsy, and I think even on Amazon. Here are some embellishments that you can purchase at Joann Fabrics and Crafts, and I'm sure other stores and websites you can get them too. And what I like about them is they're felt. And so they're used as an embellishment for whatever you're making, and you can arrange the colors any way you like. There's also pink and in here. So getting back to this doll pattern, right here in the pattern, it shows you how to make these. You go buy the felt, you cut it all out, and you do this and that with it. But I thought, I'm going to use these because I can arrange any colors, and there's a bunch of colors in here. There's even kind of a teal color. So this is going to be a lot easier. One little extra thing I don't have to make, and they look pretty much the same as what's on here. And again, they're felt, and you can get them at Joann Fabrics and Crafts, and they're where all the other buttons are. I thought I would give you all a little update on my process of learning how to loom knit. And this is the KB looms. It comes in a kit, and not only do you get 4 looms, but you also get these little pom-pom makers. Now, I really struggled with this. Many of you know I have an issue with my right hand. It doesn't close. So for me to try to hold on to this and do all the wrapping was a little challenging. And then the very last step was even very difficult for me. These are really easy to use if you have 2 good hands. So don't be turned off because I had a problem with it. So what I'm going to show you are some of the hats that I've made and the kind of pom-pom I've made. There's all kinds of ways to make a pom-pom, but for me, I finally found one that works for me. So I'm going to show you how I did that. I'm really learning to like using the loom. At first, I was kind of sitting on the fence about it. I didn't know if I wanted to really pursue it, but I decided I was going to really give it my best. And so these are some of the hats. Here's a little baby one, and then here's one I'm not quite done with it yet. And then here's one that's kind of a slouch, and it's a swirl. It's got a little bit of his design. After I got it done, I found an area where I made a little mistake. It was noticeable to me, but I think most people are never going to notice it. But the problem I had, of course, was making this little fluffy pom-pom. So I'm going to show you that I tried using the one from the Loom kit, and it's a little flimsy. I haven't used this other one I bought yet. This is one made by Clover, and it's highly rated. So if you're going to buy a pom-pom maker, look for the Clover. It really had a lot of good ratings. So now I'm going to go over my method of making the pom-pom that's going to go on this hat. Now the method I'm using, like I said, they don't come out really thick. You can make them thick. I'm not quite done with these. I still need to kind of clip the edges a little bit. This one was made a little too thin, but I'm learning to like these kind of floppy pom-poms. So what you do is, to make it this way, is to take your yarn and I'm going to wrap it around my hand. This is my bad hand, so it's the perfect hand to hold on to this yarn. Now it'll take me a second to kind of get it started. So you're just going to continue wrapping it and wrapping. And it's been recommended that you wrap 50 to 75 times. So I'm just going to wrap it until I think I've got enough. Okay, when you come to the right amount that you want, you just go ahead and cut the yarn off, and then just take it off of your hand. Now I've got another piece of yarn here. It's not the same color, but I wanted you to be able to see it. Now I like to use a double strand of yarn, so just in case it should break. I doubt if it would, but I'm going to use 2. So you take it off your hand and you put it in here, and then you go ahead and tie a knot. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it around once. Okay, bear with me while I do this. Okay, so I've got it in there one time. I'm not going to tighten it yet. Then I'm going to go around one more time. And doing it this way is going to hold it together. Bear with me while I finish this. The reason why I want you to see what I go through is that many of you have written to me that you have hand problems too. And you appreciate the fact that I show the disability and that you can work around it. So I've gone through there twice. Now, so you can see why I like to use 2 strands, because then I can wrap it around my thumb, because this hand can't close and grasp anything, and pull it as tight as you can. And it's not going to come undone because you went around it twice. Then you have the process of clipping it. So I'm just going to hold it like this. Sometimes my thumb can hold on to it. And you're going to take your scissors and begin to cut into the loops. So I'm just going to keep cutting until I've got it all done. And I can see I need to get a different pair of scissors because these are not as sharp as I thought they were. So I'll be right back after I finish cutting it all. All right, I think I've cut all the loops. Now it doesn't look like much of anything right now. So then you would, and I like to put a little trash can underneath me, and then you just go around and clip it into a shape that is pleasing to you. And remember, it's your pom-pom. You can do it any way you want, any method, cut it any shape, any length that you want, and you just keep clipping it till you like the way it looks. Here's the one. I know I still have a little more clipping to do on it, but for me, I'm happy with it. I'm very happy that I was able to at least do this much. But if you are interested in learning how to make a pom-pom, remember, this one is highly rated, and this is the Clover pom-pom maker. You can go on Amazon and get it. I don't know if Joanne sells it there. This one that came with my KB Loom kit is just okay. I thought it was just a little flimsy, but it still probably will do the job. It's just, remember, this one I think is a little better made. Well, I hope that this tip of the week was helpful to you. There's one other little item I want to talk about, and that's the sewing notes notebook or my sewing notes. Remember, whenever you see anything in any tutorial of mine you're watching, or maybe someone else's, and you want to remember all of that information, take some notes and then put it in a book like this. And the tip of the week where I show you how to organize your notebook is tip of the week number 10, and that will be listed below your YouTube screen in that description section. So remember, you got to expand the description section open. Now, while you're looking at all of those tutorials I have listed down there, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you'll receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.